Hello, and welcome to the TrailManners podcast. I'm your host, Eric Manning, coming to you from the beautiful trails in Ogden, Utah, but connecting you to wherever trail, ultra, and mountain running takes us. We'll bring trail running to life with amazing athletes, discuss the latest topics, epic journeys, and get you stoked for your next trail adventure. We're sharing the moments that make life special, because even a rough day on the trail beats a good day indoors, and nothing beats time spent with good friends and great stories. Catch us here weekly for your dose of dirt, vert, and good vibes. So now it's time to top off your water, grab some cheese curds, and join us for this week's podcast, where we take you deep into the heart of our sport. It's go time. Hello and welcome to episode number 337 of the TrailManners podcast. This is our Christmas gift guide, the one everybody waits for every year. The TrailManners podcast is produced for your enjoyment, and show notes are found at TrailManners.com. Come back often, and please feel free to add the podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at TrailManners, and don't forget to subscribe, review, and or rate us on iTunes. TrailManners really appreciate any support via our donations via our website at TrailManners.com, and please remember to share us with your friends. All links are in the show notes. Now let's get after it. All right, folks. Entering a new era here, the TrailManners podcast. We're trying some video action, so you're always going to have the sound, but now we're going to go working on some video. This is episode 337 of the TrailManners podcast. Launch date is 11/19/2024. I'm your host, Eric Manning. If you didn't listen to our last podcast, we had Michael Whiteside on, just talking about his love for running, basically. His 100-mile distance and his passion for belt buckles, like a little fish taking a lure. So thanks, Mike, for coming on. Our next podcast, after this one, we're going to have another Christmas gift guide for the ladies. So we've got two wonderful individuals lined up to come on the show for that one. And we're doing our Christmas gift guides this year hopefully before the sale. So both episodes will launch before Thanksgiving. So it gives you time, a couple days to plan, and then hit that Black Friday option. What is it? Shop Small Saturday and Cyber Monday. And we also have a lot of prizes to give away on this podcast. We'll get into that a little bit, so stay tuned. We got some discounts at the end. But first, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to the beer of the week. It's from my favorite new brewery called Lumberbeard Brewing out of Spokane, Washington. These folks are doing it right. This one is called Beach Llamas. It's got some Galaxy, Eldorado, and Citra hops in there. It's a little hazy IPA, and it is spectacular. I bought a whole case of them because that's what you got to do here in the great state of Utah when you want to special order some good beer. So that's the beer of the week. But let's not hesitate. Let's go ahead and bring on our guest, returning to the podcast, what he calls home. We've got Joel Hatch. Joel, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Right on.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the Christmas gift guide, because we are both gear junkies.
For sure.
And I always love to see what you've got, because we don't compare our lists.
No, we don't.
So I like to see what you have. I know there's going to be some crossover, but I also know I'm going to get some new stuff from you.
Right.
So
same as me. I'll get some new stuff from you.
And we started something new, and we waited till this show. If you're a guest on the podcast, we have a little gift for you. So I'm going to throw this in front here. It's a race bib, but it says TrailManners episode 337, and it is a fancy one. This goes to all our guests.
Oh, nice.
Now. It's like a race bib, because you were on the podcast.
That's pretty cool.
First time we've done it, and we've got that for every guest that sits
right on.
in on our show. Yeah, just a little souvenir. Nothing much, but people collect their race bibs, so why not throw a podcast bib on there?
I like it.
So, Joel, we're going to start this one off a little different.
All right.
Because we got some Ask TrailManners questions.
Oh, okay.
And so instead of letting the people get super excited about the gear and then not hanging on for these questions,
okay,
we had 3 come in this last week.
All right.
And they're fantastic. And one of them for sure is something I'm really glad you're here for.
Okay.
Because I'm not as smart as I'd like to be. Here we go. Hey, I've got a couple as I get excited for 2025. Do you do other activities or cross training during the winter months to mix it up or strength train? Okay, so that's part one. Mm-hmm. Part two, this is where you're going to have to take it.
Okay.
If you start strength training but want to keep/build a good run base, how often do you do each and how long do you run? Such as 3 days run, 3 days strength train, etc. 5 to 10 mile runs, ? So I'm going to let you start because this is your world.
Okay.
So when you do strength train, obviously you teach strength training,
Yes.
and have for some time. Now you're into the massage world, but what are your thoughts on that? Strength training?
Yes.
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 Big proponent.
Always.
So I think the question that really hits is, in the off season, how do you do that? Strength train and run. So you are getting good strength training,
Right.
keeping your base,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not getting hurt, right? And making it so it's beneficial. So you're not just wearing yourself out.
Right. Well, depends. Do you have a foundation of strength training already?
Okay.
If not, you need to establish that. So you need to go through that. 3 days a week is probably good to jump into that. Start with the basics: squatting, lunging, push-ups, uh, assisted pull-ups, or an incline row. That would be a good place to start for most people. Maybe some simple calf raises, easy plyometrics. 3 days a week.
3 days a week?
3 days a week.
How many days do you run then?
Probably 4.
4. So you're doing 7 days every day. You're doing something.
I think you can, but you can double up. You can lift on one day. Just reduce your volume of weightlifting.
And what about mileage? Do you have to give yourself a little bit of a break?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Because we're assuming in the off season you're going to have lower miles already.
Okay.
In your run program.
Okay.
So I think that's a good place to start. Keep it simple. That's kind of where I've gravitated towards over the years. Is I was at the gym earlier today. I was only there for 30 minutes. That's all I needed.
Just focused.
Yeah.
Get in, get out, get done what you need to do.
Just some banded hip work, some lunges, some step ups, a little bit of upper body core. I was out.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how do you have to give yourself a little bit of grace on your runs though, knowing that you might, especially when you start out, you might be a little sore?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. You can expect your pacing to slow because there's going to be extra recruitment of those muscles for strength training, and that can carry over to a little bit of soreness will slow you down. Okay. So just give yourself some grace.
All right. And that was from Aaron from Boulder. He says, glad you're back.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. I just learned of the TrailManners podcast and have gone back and started to listen from the first one.
Oh my.
That was 2015.
That was a bit.
It's cool to see how early you started to build a community and how you guys have worked with brands and talked gear. I found myself picking up some of the items you discussed that I may not have known about. So what's new that you're excited about? Also, why don't you do more gear reviews? Love the show, Anthony from Flagstaff. Well, we're going to be talking about gear, so you're lucky you got this question in one. And why is there not more gear reviews? Because there's not enough time in the world. It's hard. It's hard. Just bringing the podcast back, committed to it for sure, but it takes a little extra. And this is not a job. It's a passion. Joel did a lot of early years, did a lot of the Gear Garage, where he'd review shoes and gear. And, actually looking at the YouTube channel, they're still reviewed, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
But yeah. So Anthony, I'm glad you found the podcast. You got a lot of episodes to catch up on, and it's going to be, some of it's dated. It's not, but saying that, we just had Sylvia Greer on last week, and not a lot has changed either.
True.
Right? It's like you said, I loved what you said on the workout. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
So anyway, thanks, Anthony. And you're going to love this show if you want gear. Last question. This is from Michelle, and all she says is East Coast. Saw you on the panel at the U.S. Trail Running Conference and liked your perspective of trail running in general. I'm an RD on the East Coast and really trying to grow my event. I feel like the course is perfect for a 50K as possible and one of the best trails in the area, but due to my permit, I have to hold it during a time when there are many other higher profile races in the area. How do I grow it? ? How do I get people to look at a race that is more low key, no live streaming, major sponsors, etc.? That's a great question. And I remember being on the panels like a couple of weeks ago, and I know there's a lot of race directors in that conference, and I don't know all what was discussed, but I think I did mention a little bit because it was how can a podcast help grow my race? And I think kind of just from our experience, and Joel, when we first started, we tried to showcase races that we wanted to run.
Yes.
Right. That we thought were great, were
Right.
really cool. So we worked obviously a lot with El Vaquero, which is one of our favorites, and Ty Draney is a good friend of ours.
Right.
Beaverhead,
Mhm.
100K and 55K. And we got to know the race director there
Right.
really well.
Yep.
And he's just a great guy. And he at one point said there was a TrailManners effect on his race where, you know, people started going. And I think for you, and I think that is a tough challenge, no live streaming, major sponsors, etc. I think you market it that way as an old school, low key, come just let's run type of race.
Right. There's room for those still.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a live stream guy.
No.
Like those races, I'm doing one next year, but it's because I've always wanted to do the race, but I'm not the live stream person. And I understand there's a place for it in the sport. And I had this conversation last week with somebody, but I think to grow yours, like I mentioned in that panel, is talk to people that have run the race. Try and get on the air somehow, you know, get in front of people. But why should they come run a 50K that's, I mean, you're saying one of the best trails in the area. I'm not sure what area that is. East Coast is pretty big. But I think you have your own niche with being low key and simple. Like,
right. So here's a question. Does it have to be a 50K?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you find a niche that's outside 50K?
Yeah.
Can it be shorter?
Yeah.
Right. We're certainly lacking for races shorter than 50K.
Yeah.
Even shorter than a marathon.
Because you just see a lot of times, like in the trail world, it's like a half marathon.
Yep.
And then a lot of them go to a 50K or a marathon.
Yeah.
But
it's okay to have that off distance. As long as it's a good course and you're doing your best to put on a good event, people will show up.
Well, and Joel and I, again, this goes from years of being on the podcast talking about it, but, you know, don't force a course, make it the distance the course lets you, making it good. So, you know, if it's a 33K, right? If it's a 52K, whatever that number, even a mileage, whatever it is. So I think that's a good point. But I don't know. I mean, don't overthink it. I think just sell your product for what it is, because there is people out there that like that.
Right.
I understand like being, you know, same time as some higher profile races, but not everybody runs those and gets into them either. But maybe, like Joel said, maybe offer a distance they don't offer too.
True. Maybe it's a beginning race, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if the trail is like not very difficult, maybe that's how people get into racing on trails.
Yeah.
You can present it that way.
That's a good point. So anyway, thanks, Michelle. And thanks that we had those 3 questions this week, and keep those coming. Ask Trail Manners. It's through social media, but you can always just email at trailmanners@gmail.com. But here we go. We're going to get right into it, because we have lots of conversations on this stuff, because we are gear guys, somewhat techie in some areas. We're going to start with outerwear. Okay. We do this every year. We kind of have categories we like to cover. There'll be some overlap, and most likely be some overlap in what we both like, but also in categories. So I'm going to let Joel start. Outerwear. What you got?
All right. It's cold right now. So the thing that I'm going to use the most over the next 5-6 months is my Patagonia Air Shed Pro pullover. I've had it for years. I keep thinking, I'm going to drift to something else, but every morning I pull that guy out, put it on, and it's money. It works. Yeah, I love it. It's $139. I cannot ask for a better outerwear piece of equipment.
Just all around too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last year I took it out to Antelope Island. I thought I was going to be too warm. It was windy that day, and I am really happy I had the hood, because I've never actually run more with the hood on than that day.
Wow.
It was like 20 miles, had my hood on, just hiding from the wind the whole day, and it worked out really well. The second piece of outerwear I have is from Black Diamond.
Okay.
It's a little bit more robust. It's a jacket. It's the Alpine Start hoodie. Now, hoodie is a misnomer. It's just a jacket that has a hood on it.
Okay.
It's 185 nylon stretch woven with a Scholler fabric, which is a little bit softer, stretches a little bit nicer. I think that one's going to give you a little bit more protection than the Air Shed Pro from Patagonia. And it's $185, so it's a little bit more pricey.
So heavier?
I think it's a little heavier duty.
More water resistant?
A little bit more water resistant, yeah.
Okay.
The Air Shed, I don't think it's water resistant at all.
Yeah.
You might get a little bit if it's sprinkling, but yeah. What else? I don't have any other jackets. Really condensed my jackets down
You
to
must
those two.
because we're jacket guys.
Oh,
We talk
yeah.
about it way too much.
Yeah. But I really found the pieces of gear that work for me, and I'm sticking to them, and I'm trying not to deviate too much.
Okay.
All right. For pants this year, the Solomon Sense Aero Stow Pants.
Okay.
So they're lightweight, they're breathable. They have a little bit of reflective in case you need to get out on the road. They have a little bit of insulation. They're definitely water repellent. They're $130.
So these are not tight pants. They're like just running pants.
Just running pants.
Okay.
Yeah. And I try to mix those up. I have a pair of Solomon from years ago. And you'll see Solomon will keep iterating on this version. You know what I mean? And in the past, it worked really well. So I bought another pair this year, and so far it's a good pant. I really like it.
Nice.
I had to go to one of my favorite brands, Rabbit, and get me some easy joggers.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That can cover two different, scenarios. One, on trail, or two, going to the coffee shop.
Yep.
They're soft. They're so comfortable.
I love joggers. I like a couple of years ago I got into joggers and I have a hard time. I love joggers.
Yeah.
They're my jam.
Yeah, you just wear a base liner underneath them and they're really, really comfy out on the trail. Blocks the wind just a little bit, cut a little bit of that cold temperature that we're entering into.
Would you compare the joggers to their little hooded top? Because those are like they have that easy pull over with the hood. Is it very similar softness?
Similar softness for sure.
All right.
These only have pockets on the side,
okay.
A little key pocket on the side. So if you're taking your phone with you, you're gonna have to carry it some other way.
Okay.
That's the only kind of downside to the joggers.
Okay.
All right. If you need a pair of tights, Rabbit have you covered. They have the Pocket Manprees.
Ooh, 3/4?
3/4, yeah. So the pocket, obviously, you have a foam pocket in the back, and then you have a key pocket, and I believe a gel pocket as well. Those are $90.
Okay, I'm looking into those.
Yeah. Those are good looking. Yeah.
Okay, that's one I'm getting off the podcast now.
Yeah. All right. Other outerwear stuff. I like gloves.
Yeah.
My hands get cold. So I'll wear my gloves even when it's 40 degrees outside.
Wow.
Last year I had a pair from REI. I wore the mess out of them. They were great. Just simple liner gloves, really cheap. This year I went to Smart Wool and I got their liner gloves. They're $28. A little bit of merino wool, a little bit of elastin in there, and polyester. They are comfortable. They are warm. I took them out this morning. It was probably in the 20s, and they did okay. I'm really kind of pushing the edge of that glove in the 20s. If it's 30 or 40s, that's a great glove for sure. Okay. If it's really cold, I'm going to have to go with some black diamond Grid Tech Storm Hood gloves.
It's like some ski gloves.
I know. It's not really a ski glove, though. It's got a little like garage on the back of the glove where you can pull out a cover that goes over the glove.
Okay.
So it's like a mitten that goes over the glove then. And that just reduces the wind that's hitting your hands. That one's $69. That one's kind of hard to find, I think, though, because it's a little bit warm. It seems like it's sold out. They do have one that's a little bit less insulated, and it's a little bit cheaper. I think that one's a little bit more readily available.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the last piece of gear for my outerwear, it's from John G. It's a merino headband.
Oh, okay.
Now, I like buffs, but they can get a little warm, where the headband's more specific. Just covering those ears.
That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I like it. And I think I'm old enough I can pull that off now, too.
I couldn't do that 10 years ago.
No, definitely not. I was a little too self-conscious.
I was going to say, I'm trying to figure, I don't know the last time I wore one of those, like a headband. I know exactly what you're talking about. Just like, headband, but it covers your ears.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. So gear can go with your age.
I think so. I think you need the age into it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so it's not worrying about being hip enough or something. It's more worried about being old enough. Or
yeah,
something.
Exactly.
You got to be a little bit older. Is that your outerwear?
That's my outerwear. I kept it simple.
So I did something very similar. Is trying to keep it simple because last year on the show I talked a lot about craft,
Yes.
So I bought a bunch of craft, and I do like their stuff. Do not get me wrong, I do. But then I found myself similar to you, kind of going through my closet, going, okay, what are kind of the ones that I could make an arsenal out of, right? Like, what are my ones? And I have the Patagonia Airshed Pro. In fact, I just bought the green one this year.
Oh, nice.
It was a cool color, and I'm like colors. Because I have like what do I have? Kind of like a gray one. I have a black one, and I've got a green one. So yes, I have 3. I know. But yes, those are perfect. You can layer with them.
Yeah.
I've already brought it out for, it's not like cold yet. And it worked well. I agree with you on the moisture repellency. I don't think, a light sprinkle, it might beat a little bit, but you're still going to get wet. Right. So it's because it's not like a Houdini slick stuff, which are always on the list. And then I think for me, the other jacket between that one is going to be the Path Graves PX shell jacket they came out with last year. That one I fell in love with last year. Absolutely repellent. It's a great weight. Probably could, breathable is something that I think is relative to who you are, because I'm a big sweater.
Right.
But I can layer with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those two will get me through this year.
Right.
Pretty much, as far as jackets go.
No, I love that Path jacket.
Yeah.
It just doesn't rain enough.
Yeah.
Right. Around here in Utah for it to be like my main go-to piece. I think I've only worn it twice.
Yeah.
And I think one thing they can improve on is having a little cinch on the hood.
Okay. Yeah. Because when you turn your head, it doesn't turn with you.
It does not turn.
And that one's $139. So it comes in at the same price point as the Patagonia Airshed pullover.
No, it's a smoking deal.
Yeah.
For the quality of jacket, it's a great jacket.
It's a great jacket.
Yeah. For if we were living somewhere else and it rained, that thing would be in my rotation all the time.
Well, and it's funny too, because when I look back and we have this question on the Ask Trailmanners is the gear. And I remember when Path came out, the first year they came out, they sent us some shirts.
Right.
And we kind of got in with them right out of the gate. And we're like, man, I like what this brand is about.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happened with Rabbit.
Yep.
When Rabbit came out, we had her on the podcast.
We did, yeah.
And talked to her about what Rabbit was. And now obviously both brands are just killing it for the most part. And so we were pretty true to, I don't know, people that then they asked us, what do you think? Do you like this? Do you like that? And so those have been great, because I look at the pants and I'm a Kill 'em PX pant from Path.
Oh, yeah.
They came out with that a few years back, and I know we've brought that on the podcast for the Christmas gift guide, and I've known people to buy them and love them. And it's just a great pant. It fits kind of like a jogger, a little bit loose. It's not heavy. I don't run in pants almost at all. And maybe that'll change as we get older. But that one I have run in, and I didn't ever feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have wore pants today.
Right.
Or some pants I get out and I'm like, that was a mistake. And then I just have this long, miserable, pancake batter run, just misty. So I have those. And then I have gloves, but I like light gloves. My hands don't get cold. So I just got the Rabbit Tech gloves for like $40.
Yeah. Those are good.
And those are fantastic.
Yeah.
I really do like those. I have some old Solomon gloves and Pearl Izumi gloves that fit through my rotation, but the thinner the better for me, because I just don't get cold. I find myself when it's cold just even taking them off half the time. And so I like ones that are thin enough I can put in my short pockets and carry them that way so I don't lose them. But I don't get extremely cold. I wear buffs. And then I brought to the podcast the hat.
Oh, yeah.
The Patagonia Winter Duckbill running cap. This thing is awesome. I got it last year, and I'm gonna test it out right now. I'm gonna put it on. If you have a ponytail, it's got a place for your ponytail in the back, but it kind of reminds you of like an Elmer Fudd hat, right? Elmer Fudd there, but the flaps come down. You put the brim up. This thing's got some R1 Tech fleece in it, or you can wear it just like a normal hat. So this one I'm really excited about. I think that's for a cold day, though. It's not going to
have to be really cold.
It's not going to breathe a ton.
Right? No, none.
Yeah, it's not. But this is an awesome duckbill hat by Patagonia. Got it last year. Super psyched. And that's kind of my cold weather rotation, other than when we get down to a few other categories. But
yeah,
grab me a jacket. I can layer under that, whether it's a 3/4 sleeve, a long sleeve, a heavier shirt, a t-shirt.
Right.
Get the jacket on, maybe some gloves. Still pretty much a shorts guy all year. I think last year, I don't think I wore pants once last winter, and not to say I ran every day either. So I could something to do with that, but I didn't run a lot. So that's kind of my outerwear. Super simple.
Yeah.
Trying to simplify things. Done a lot of purging in my house lately.
Same.
So that the cold weather stuff gets purged way quicker because I don't use it nearly as much.
Right.
So that's kind of my outerwear, but I am going to look into the man prees.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice to have. Or you can just go with the full length, right? Just it's your comfort level.
I think I'm going to try some man prees. I think I'm at the
They're
age
good
I
looking.
could pull a Shane Martin now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could pull something like that off.
And maybe that's what's in the back of my mind. I'm like, I know somebody around here that wears those. It's Shane Martin.
And he
looks
fast.
good.
He looks good.
Yeah.
And he's fast. So it's like, hey, if that can rotate off to me a little bit,
right?
I'm totally good with that. Plus, I wear a lot more crew sock now. So not a lot's going to be exposed, just the meaty calf.
Yeah.
And he's okay most of the time. So, all right, here we go. We're going into run shirts now. So run shirts, I'm going to start this one.
Okay.
Again, super, super simple, but I'm always looking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always looking for ideas for run shirts. I've kind of gone away from like the true techie shirts.
Something a little softer, huh?
Yeah, something a little bit softer. So, and I've again, and I hate to say it, I'm not sponsored. We're not sponsored here, but Path Basis Tee, their new T-shirts. Got some of those. They are like butter soft. They're softer than their older Cascade shirts, I think is what it was.
Which were the best shirts?
Which were my favorite shirt. I still have a ton of those. But the new Basis Tee, they're $48. They have some logoed ones as well, different logos on them, or plain ones.
Right.
Man, I love those things. Short sleeve, pretty much what I wear. I would like to find some good sleeveless shirts. I wear a lot more of those, but I just found I've been cutting sleeves off my tees. They do.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried the new one, the Basis, yet. I've tried the older version, but the sleeve holes were really big. So you're like halfway down your rib cage was showing instead of, but it wasn't too tight either. But I like, my wife taught me how to cut my own shirts now. So I feel pretty good about that. But yeah, I say the Path Basis Tee.
Right.
And then the other one, I wear is the Pyrenees T19 hooded top from them.
Okay.
Path Projects. It's a little hooded shirt. And that's when you mentioned before about the rabbit joggers. I wear the hooded tee almost all fall and winter.
Right.
To coffee shops, to work, to the store. I can run in them, not have a layer underneath them, but I can layer over them. Again, just super soft against the skin. Very on these shirts too. I'm going to say it. I don't get the nipple chafage either. Right. And that hurts. That's not a good shower experience afterwards. And when it's cold out, you can cut glass. And then if that shirt's not working for you, generally tech tees, they rub pretty hard.
They do.
But I'm always looking for new shirts. I didn't put it on my list, but I bought I don't even know the brand. It was on Amazon and I just threw it into the wind. It was like $12 because it said it was supposed to be really good if you're in the sun. It was like 32 degree, 45 degrees, some name like that. Oh my God, that was a super nice shirt.
Was it?
Oh my gosh, I bought a polo shirt because it was so good. The polo was like $18. I wear it to work and people are like, that's a nice shirt. I'm like, yeah, it's designer. It's designer brand.
Amazon brand. Huh?
Right. And then my last one I just got today.
Mm-hmm.
I got it today. And I'll mention them. I've mentioned them before. I brought it with me and I know if you're watching this, it is the Death March running company. It's their singlet. It's super nice. I put it on today, as a matter of fact, because I want to start wearing not just short sleeves, because I get really hot.
Right.
So I've done tanks and singlets. And so this one from from Death March Running Company, a good friend of mine from the Pearl Izumi days, Cody Riley's one of the founders, and they're doing some cool things in the sport in general, but super soft. It is that tech material.
Right.
So obviously singlets, I'm not going to wear it in the winter time. I'm not that guy, but I'm really excited to try this on because it's a fun design. It's got topo map on it.
That looks cool.
It's just super fun, and they do a lot of fun things at Death March Running, and we're going to have a discount code for Death March at the end of the show, a few more things, but that's pretty much it for my run shirts. Pretty simple, pretty basic.
Oh, that was really simple.
But I'm always looking for more. So that's why I'm excited that you're going to throw me some stuff.
Well, so the first one on my list is from Path Project. It's the Basis sleeveless tee or tank, right? So I'm trying to build out that kit that I'm going to wear like year round.
So do you have one now?
Yeah, I do.
What's the opening like for your arms?
Well, I've got little scrawny arms, so it's not an issue for me like your big guns,
But is it like a big opening that loops way down? Do you remember?
No,
it's not too tight, right?
No, it's not
chafes your underarm.
No, I'm
under
good
pits.
Okay. I guess you can like cut that out if you needed to.
I guess.
Right?
Okay.
No need to be afraid to shave a little bit. That's $44 to $42, depending on if you get the sleeveless or if you get the tank. Then if you come up to just a regular t-shirt, that Rabbit Easy Tee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's comfy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, $48. Can't go wrong there. The Rabbit Race Pace Tee. That is for hot weather.
Okay.
Right. So if you don't want to have your body exposed and it's really hot and you just want a t-shirt, I think that would be the way to go.
Okay.
It's got a little perforation in there to let the air flow.
That's what I wore at El Vaquero, a yellow one. That's one I left off my list because I just bought the white one.
Okay.
I have the yellow one.
Right. That's a good looking one.
Yeah.
If you need to go something a little bit long sleeve, Patagonia long sleeve Capling, cool lightweight shirt. I've had those for feels like 20 years now.
Yeah.
They just work, right? They're $59. That's a great deal. And then it gets a little bit colder. Then you go up to Patagonia midweight. I go with the zip neck and then just layer that under that Airshed Pro and you're just toasty warm. Yeah. That's it for my run shirts.
See, I like it simple.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I forgot about that Rabbit. It's like the perforation in it with the holes and stuff. That came in handy to El Vaquero in August when it was super hot. If I would have had a normal shirt on, that might have been worse for me than it already was.
Been the end of it, right? At that point.
I might have just ripped it off like Hulk Hogan and just kept going. Yeah. But yeah, so again, with this podcast, we're throwing our ideas out there because we've done it since 2015. But if you have some cool ideas, don't forget to comment, share with us because there's so many brands out there. Definitely some I haven't been exposed to just because I'm really set in my ways, like ordering the same meal at the same restaurant. But there's some new stuff. So
it's hard. You get that orbit of stuff that you use.
Yeah.
And something tries to break into your orbit and you feel like you got to push something out.
Yeah.
Right. And then you feel bad.
Or there's nothing worse than getting something because stuff's not cheap anymore.
Oh, no.
Getting something and finding out it doesn't work for you.
Right.
Right. And you're like, I knew it. Or you're out on the run and find out it's not working for you because there's nothing worse than that. I did that with some liners a couple of years ago. I took them off and just ran without stuff on my stuff, and because I was like, that was that bad. I won't even mention the brand. All right. Run shorts and liners. We're going to start with you. I started with shirts.
All right.
Let's do it.
Again, Path Project. Sorry, folks. We're creatures of habit. So I've been running the Path Projects the last few years, like exclusively. But I am going to move next year to the Sykes AT short.
Okay.
Right.
That super paper thin short.
Yes.
I've got some of those.
Now, the Path Project Sykes PX short, that is your workhorse short. It does it all. But I want something a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
A little bit more airy.
Yeah.
That's just the short. That's not the liner.
There's no liners in their shorts.
No liners in their shorts. Now, if I was to pick up another short, it would possibly be the Rabbit Shredders.
Okay. Yep.
2-in-1 short. It has the built-in liner, lots of storage up around the waistband.
Okay, so what's the liner like? Is it the jockey liner?
No.
It like, okay, so it's more of like the boxer liner, but tight.
The
right?
longer, I think, right?
Longer?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be almost like half to 3/4 of your quad.
Okay.
Is what that's going to cover.
Okay.
So that might be more like a tight under the liner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's really weird how many times on this podcast we talked about another brand, like the Patagonia, what are those? The shorts.
Strider
Pros.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have some, but I cut the liners out.
You got to cut the liners out.
Because I remember, but I didn't. I used to run just the Strider Pro with their liner. Now,
right.
If I put a jockey liner on right now and some shorts,
it's weird.
Yeah, it's super, super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do the jockey liners. Even,
right.
I don't care if they're mesh, seamless, you name it. It's just not my thing.
No. I think that's just as you get a little older, maybe you prefer that a little bit more.
You keep tossing that around, man. Yeah. It's making me feel old.
That's because we are. All right. Another short I have on my list I'd like to try. It's from John G. It's their multi-sport short.
Okay.
5-inch. And that I think refers to the liner length itself.
Okay.
And they have a couple of pockets. So I'm willing to branch out a little bit.
Okay. That's your one. That's your one you want to give a go.
I think so. Yeah. Well, we'll give it a shot. Yeah. Liner though is from Path Projects. So if you have to have a liner for all these shorts, I've been using them for years. The Path Project, the Lynx PD.
Okay, so kind of the techie material.
I like that techie material.
I
think it dries faster and it aerates a little bit better as well. I tried a liner from Rabbit. It's better suited to just everyday like
casual wear. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because are you done with your shorts? I shouldn't interrupt you.
Oh no.
You're still
done.
Going.
Look how easy that was.
Wow. See, because
super simple.
You think yours is easy.
Yeah.
My shorts are Path Projects, the Sykes,
Yeah.
and I have the AT and the PX, and it's exactly what you just mentioned. Like I'll wear PX in the winter for sure.
Oh yeah.
And the ATs I have wore in the summer or when it's hotter, but I could still wear the PX.
Oh yeah.
But I love the Sykes pockets. That's that's the selling point, not just the material. They're a little stretchy. The back pocket by the butt fits your phone, no problem.
Fits your phone.
And the other two pockets are on your sides.
Yep.
They're not in the front because they have the Path with the pockets in the front. I have some of those, not a fan. But those side pockets fit whatever you need.
A key and a headlamp.
Oh my, yeah, we'll get to headlamps. I put my headlamp in there. I've put AirPods in there. I can put a glove, both gloves in one side.
Right.
So I love their shorts, and I'm the same way. I keep looking at, different shorts. Again, these ones retail at $58,
right,
which is pretty standard for a quality brand short. Now
it's actually cheap.
Yeah, and there's a lot like $85 for Patagonia Strider Pros.
Right.
Rabbits are probably in that range and more.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really do like their PX, the Sykes short. But like I said, it's the pockets hit it for me. I've never had problems with the shorts.
None.
And then same with the liner as I wear the Tahoe 5-inch and I wear the Lynx 5-inch. And what I've found I started to do is just wear them as my everyday underwear too, because they're just comfortable.
They are,
Yeah. And so when you talk about, I have like Sax, underwear, but same styles, I guess. But I think I'm to the point where if there's other things, shoes, nutrition, that type of stuff, probably more willing to try and see what's going on, because there's so many more right out there.
It's easier to dip your toe in the water on that front, right? And the overall cost is a little bit less.
Sure. But yeah, shorts and liners, I'm pretty dialed in. I do have some Rabbit at home. I do have some Patagonia Strider Pros, which don't have the liners in them, which I wear still, but you can't. And some of these I can't fit my phone in the back pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I can with the Path ones. And to me, that's a problem, because I do like to have my phone for multiple reasons.
Yep.
Obviously, safety.
Yep.
Number one. Pictures and music, right? Like that's what I run with my phone. And when I don't run with my phone, sometimes it makes me a little nervous.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's like local on the, local trails, if something was to happen, even reporting another situation for somebody else. Right. So I do like to run with that. And that's kind of where I'm at on the shorts and liners, but we're always open to try things. So especially if you have something that works for you. And I know a lot of people wear the Path and different brands. Patagonia has been around. But I think to me, the brands in the short world are pretty locked in. Like I've tried some North Face ones that didn't work for me at all. I wish they would have. I've even tried some Nike ones, but they had a super funky boxy fit.
Right.
Like they just didn't feel like they were for running, but they were their run short. So again, not cheap. And so you try them on and can't run in them, right? Or they won't let you take them back most of the time.
No, that's true.
So that's it for mine. It's super simple. The Sykes PX and AT, no reason to go anywhere else. And I do like when a brand like Path comes out with that short and they just keep coming out with it. That to me tells me they're doing well. People are buying it. They know there's not a quality control issue where they would change it, and they just keep moving forward with it. I think that's what's frustrating with shoes. And it's like, hey, we got the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, and you find one and then they change it. They find it and change it. So
significantly. Yeah.
If they're the experts, they're the ones that make a living, either open or close their business on a short. And if it's still doing it, must be working. So that's where I'm at. All right, here we go. Footwear. This is one I've definitely slowed down on the last few years.
Right.
Just because of the cost of shoes.
Yes.
This has increased to the point where I can't take a chance and just say, I'll just wear them to walk around.
Right.
So footwear, and when we say all these things, we are totally aware that it's personal, right? Shape of your foot, what you like on stack height, what you like on just drop, what you like on everything. So it's not we're saying this is the shoe, you have to get it or nothing else is good, right? However, Joel and I have been around a long time and been very techie into shoes, some more than others. So we have kind of background in understanding the build of a shoe,
right?
Qualities of shoe. And Speedland for me is my number one now.
Right.
Like I talk to many people because I talk about them, and Joel sat across from me a year ago, and I'm like, I'm trying not to like him. Ran with him all winter last year. How do you like him? Trying not to like him. What's wrong with him? Nothing yet.
Yeah.
You know,
just that price tag.
Yeah, just the price tag. And then I start looking at other shoes. And then again, I've said it before, my first pair of Speedlands, I'm still wearing them, and I probably got 600 miles in just that shoe. And I had someone on the podcast, last week, and we were talking about the shoe thing. And I'm like, I put a brand new pair on next to the 600 mile pair.
Right.
Could I tell a difference? For sure.
Yeah.
Was it that huge of a difference? Nope.
Yeah.
So Speedland right now, that's my go-to. I purposely wore the PDX today, the green ones. I haven't even taken them on the trail because I want to get them dirty.
They're good looking.
The sexiest shoe I've had.
Yep.
However, they got some new models coming out at the end of November. They're shipping.
Those look good.
They've got the GL SVT, which is the Silverton. So they have two models. They have a GS and a GL.
Yeah.
The GS is kind of that bigger stack height. It's 30 to 37, so a 7 mil stack height. And the GL style is 28 to 33, which is a 5 mil stack height. So the GL SVT is the one that got the
Velcro on
gator on it.
Yeah.
It's got the gator, the one that Avery Collins. That's Avery Collins helped them design with the gator built on. They have a shoe similar to it without the gator. It's a black one with the Velcro strap.
Right.
And then they've got their GS models, which is like the one I have, the green one. They've had the black one. They have a new gray camel one coming out.
That one looks really good.
So I may have already pre-ordered a pair.
I'm sure you did.
Because I do like them. And so it's like, if I like them and I wear them, I love them.
Yeah.
And I've never had a problem with my shoes. They've never, and maybe I'm lucky. So Speedland's my go-to. In second go-to is the Mafati Speed 4 from Hoka.
Right.
So the Speedlands, you're looking $250, right?
But with the plate,
that's extra.
Yeah.
And you don't, but I'd like that option where you don't have to have it, or you can have it. You buy it, you pay extra for it. I totally get that, as opposed to built in. That's your
I like
go-to.
how they have that plate integrated into the footbed.
Yeah. It's pretty easy too. Yeah. And it doesn't like get loose or squirrely.
Or if the plate starts to deteriorate,
you just replace it. I did replace my plate on my first pair, the 600 mile pair. I probably replaced it which is funny. I didn't think about it. And it was probably like 400 and something miles. I took it out and it was kind of brittle.
Right.
It was kind of interesting. It was like kind of crumbly brittle. I'm like, I put a number, and I'm a big dude. So it's not like, is the carbon foot plate worth it? Does it work for you? I don't know. Maybe if you're light and super fast, it works better. But, I've worn them without it and I could tell for sure. Yeah. But I don't know if it makes me any faster or more efficient. But the Hoka Mafati Speed 4, that's 185. That's a 29.33 mil drop, so 4 mil.
Right.
I really like that shoe. Super comfortable. The only downside to that one is when I was running El Vaquero, I had like 12 miles on the shoe and it broke.
That's right. It did break.
Yeah. And so I couldn't really lace my shoes the whole race. And 9 miles into a 50K, they replaced it for free, which I appreciate. But when you're on the trail, that doesn't help you too much. No. And that's the only time I've had a problem with a shoe.
Right.
Like I don't know if I'm super lucky, but I've never had shoes break, fall apart while I'm running over time. But that's my second one. And then I have two that I'd like to try.
Okay.
So the first one is the normal Tomir 2.0.
Okay.
That one's 170. It's a 25.33 mil. So it's an 8 mil drop, which is probably at the edge of where I'm willing to go.
Yeah, that's some high heel.
Yep. And so I'd really like to try that one. I've seen some people in the area that wear it. Obviously, the designer knows a thing or two about shoes. Yeah. That's one I'd like to try. The Caboose, I don't know if it's really done anything. It's still not online. It was supposed to already come out a couple times. So I don't know if they're having some problems or figuring that out. But I would like to try the Tomir 2.0.
Okay.
And I wouldn't mind slipping on, and this is, again, getting in there. It's a $275 shoe, the Hoka Tecton X3. That's the one with the gator. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Right.
It's a 35-40 mil, so it's a pretty good stack height, which I didn't think it was that high when I looked at them.
No,
I thought they were a lot
like low.
That's what I thought. I thought this is for the skinny dudes, not for a pounder like me. But I wouldn't mind trying them on.
Oh yeah.
I like that. I don't know if I like the built-in gator or not, because I really haven't done anything with it. But I know there's times I wish I had gators.
Right.
But I've never wore gators. So
no.
But some days
mine are collecting dust.
Yeah, I don't
even
know
mine
are. Yeah. But those two I'd like to try, the normal Tomir 2.0 and the Hoka Tecton X3.
Okay, right on.
And that's it. I mean, again, I got a shoe I like. They haven't changed it. Neither the Hoka Mafati Speed 4, they didn't decide to come out with a new one after a year because they were doing well with it, like a lot of series. Now they probably will in 2025 in the fall.
Yeah, I think that's their time frame is around there.
So they did an extra year on that one. So that tells me they've done pretty well with that shoe. So
yeah,
those two, zero problems I've had with either one, as far as like as a blister or foot problems or Achilles or anything else. But I would like I like shoes. So
no,
I'd like to try the Tomirs and the Tecton 3. So that's it for my shoes.
Right on. I want to try the Speedlands.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just nervous, right? That's a big chunk of chain to throw out there.
Especially if you don't like them.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I've got a lower volume foot, so I'm a little nervous if I can't get them tight enough. I just wish they would show up here locally and be like, hey, we're going to have a pop-up run. Come out and try them. That would be nice.
So if you're listening, Speedland.
Just saying.
Joel's an 8.5.
An 8, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there.
Yeah. I have the Hoka Mafati Speed 4 on my list as well. That's my workhorse.
Yeah.
That's the shoe that I always, gravitate back to until recently.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I didn't want to drop the money, but it was on sale. So I got a pair of Hoka Tecton X2s.
Okay.
I put them on. I went out and ran, and I was giggling.
Oh.
I've never had a carbon plated shoe before, and I get it now.
Yeah. What did you get? Like for you, what was that?
It was joy.
Yeah.
It was speed, the lightness of the shoe. I didn't know I needed that. Now I have to have it all the time.
You got your dealer.
Yeah.
You're hooked.
So obviously I had to go buy another pair because they're on sale.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Obviously I'm going to extrapolate up and say the problems that shoe has with the toe box being a little bit too small has been resolved in the version 3. So that is on my list.
Okay.
The Tecton X3 is on my list.
And the X2 has no gator, right?
No gator.
Okay.
No. And the upper is really nice. It's soft. It's breathable, but that toe box is a little bit small.
Is it?
And that's coming from somebody that's got a low volume foot.
Okay.
But I'm going to make it work. It's a great shoe to go out and run fast in.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. I got something a little bit different this year that I put a lot of miles in, the Asics.
That's right.
Trabuco Max 3. That was a great shoe up until 15 miles. And then all of a sudden that foam died.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like every run. So
Every run.
It would like re-energize when you weren't wearing it,
Exactly,
and then it'd slowly go down. Okay.
Yeah, over the run, by the time I got to mile 15, that foam was just packed out. Yeah, and you could feel everything under your feet at that point. But up until that point, it's a great shoe. It's got great lugs. Traction's really good. Breathes really well. Big fat stack height. It's a great shoe, and it's cheap.
Is it?
Yeah, you can get them on sale for like $119.
Wow.
Yeah, it's well worth it.
I remember when shoes, that was expensive.
I know, right? It's so.
That's like it's cheap.
Crazy.
It's on sale for $119.
Let's talk about $200 shoes now. All right, so I got a shoe recently because I want to do more like strictly speed work, right? So I was thinking, okay, I can go out to the canal road, which is flat, kind of gravelly, not terribly technical. I was like, I think I got the shoe for it because it was on sale. All right. So here's what it is.
Uh-oh. He's got it. He's bringing it out. And again, if you can find us on YouTube, if this video thing works. Oh, you got a pair. Okay.
I got a pair of rabbit shoes.
Hold that up for the camera for people that can watch it.
So I was buying some rabbit stuff, and they're sneaky. They're like, hey, we have this shoe, and it happens to be on sale. And I'm like, we'll take the money.
Yeah. You got me.
Yeah, exactly. It does have a little bit of a rocker to it, which is,
okay.
I think I'm gravitating more towards the rocker style shoes.
Okay.
It just works better with my mechanics, I believe. This has got the flow state foam. I don't know what that is, right? That's just their name, right?
Soft and
but it does
flowy.
have some carbon.
Does it?
Yeah, little carbon tracks. They are right here, and they're short.
Okay, so midsole.
Full, yeah, just right under the midfoot. It's not full length carbon, right?
Okay.
Where you can feel that in the Tecton. These guys, when you hit the pace right, you can feel the carbon.
Okay.
Right, which is really nice. The downside is it's a road shoe.
Okay.
it is not good on the trail
Yeah.
at all.
Do you
Some
try it
road
on the
shoes
trail?
are, these are not good on the trail. Just
Gravel, you're
full
good.
stop. Gravel, they're barely okay. Yeah. I was like, okay, I got these out there and I'm like forcing it at this point. I'm like, I put the money into it. We're going to make it work. Right. It's a good shoe. I think if you're a road runner or if you're out there on the pathway that's not technical, this would be a good option for you.
How's that toe box? Is it narrow?
It's
Is
a
it
little
okay?
bit wider than you think it is.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
when I did see them online, it
Yeah,
just seemed narrow for me. I don't wear like the Ultra, the Taupo,
Right.
the big flail my toes out thing, but I need a
Right.
little bit of room.
This might not be the shoe for you then.
Okay.
The heel
I
is
don't run
pretty
on the road
flimsy
either,
for
so.
for trail,
Okay.
right? It's not very, providing a lot of support. Even though there is this little nice heel counter in there that's like snugs you down.
Okay.
But it's an interesting shoe. It really is. For their first go, I think it was a really good design.
Yeah, I was excited to see them just to try a shoe.
I'd like to see them come out with a trail shoe like this.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome with that little bit of carbon in there. That'd be awesome.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested, even though I don't run on the roads. I wear running shoes just to wear, like with joggers,
Right.
the coffee shops. I did start wearing Birkenstocks this year, but
those are comfy.
Yeah, but I do like just running shoes.
Right.
Wow.
So this is the 37, 32 as
Okay.
far as the drop goes. And it's 9 ounces. That's pretty light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of like slightly obsessed with like the weight of shoes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Hoka. Tecton for ruining me.
Well, I'm excited for you to get the X3 so I can see how good they are.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm waiting for the colorway, the change.
Oh yeah.
I don't want that purple colorway.
Well, when you go on their website, they're almost sold out of that color.
Thank goodness.
So they've got to have something coming.
Unfortunately, they'll have some crazy colors.
It'll
That's
be like
their gig right now.
Orange and blue.
Yeah,
and, yeah. Which I'm okay with an orange, but it's got to be a good orange.
Just give me black.
Just give me. I would. The Speedland had that all black one.
That was good looking.
That's a good.
With a little bit of
shoe.
red.
Yep.
There, that was good.
Yeah, I did like that one.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to their new one, the little gray camo.
That one looks really good too. That's subdued enough, I think.
Yeah.
That will blend in.
But the green and the blue, they just do a good job.
They
the
do.
only one they've really gone much with is the Oakland one.
Right.
The one the Path Projects was involved with the purple, the pink, and the black. That's their busiest shoe.
It was.
Yeah. Is that your shoes?
Up until we get to like, what would you like?
Oh yes,
which is at the end.
It is, and my list is short, but so when I get to the what would you like part, I'm gonna need a lot of help.
Okay.
Right. So we good with shoes?
We're good with shoes for right now.
All right. Hydration, packs, handhelds, waist belts, etc. Once again, I'm a simple creature. I've tried multiple things, and I just go back to that Solomon Vent Skin 5.
Yeah.
$145.
Yeah.
Been wearing it for years. I have the 8 as well. If it's like something I need more, but I've found out more and more the 5 does it all for me.
5 does it all.
Even say, what about 100 milers? I'm like, same. You have drop bags. You have crew. Or if you don't have crew, you have drop bags.
Right.
I think the more volume, and we've had this discussion, the more volume I have, the more stuff I put in it.
Right.
And that's not a good thing for me. I need to drop weight, let alone in my vest. I did, again, I'm bringing it up again because it's fun, but most of the flasks are 500 milliliter flasks, which are perfect. However, just recently, and I brought one with me, Death March Running Company has their own flasks.
Oh, that's cool.
They're 600 milliliters.
Nice.
And they fit in the Solomon vest.
Right on.
They retail at $18. Mm-hmm. They have, I think, two colors, this and a pink with the woman's skull on it. But they also come with 2 tops.
Oh, I do like the straw.
So they have like the normal nipple top on the soft flasks, but they do have the straw if you wanted to go that route, too. And I'm like, that's all in one order of $18. That's cheaper than Solomon soft flasks.
That's a great deal.
Holds 100 milliliters more.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. It's got the little chart on the side of your milliliters if you like tracking different types of stuff, which I don't do math.
And so you put that in your Solomon vest.
This fits in my Solomon vest. Yep. And it does hold, 100 milliliters more.
Yeah.
If you have 2 of them, that's 200 more milliliters. So you're kind of like, you can do longer runs and have a third in the back if you wanted.
You totally can.
But I do like that they included it all. It's kind of fun as well. But I do like this one. So that's one of the changes that I'm going to make is
nice
that.
Job.
And the other thing and we're going to have a discount code at the end, nothing big, but they've helped us out, The other thing I want to try this year, especially in the winter, are waist belts.
Huh.
Because I don't like carrying handhelds. I just don't. I like my hands free. I don't want to wear, I hate wearing vests if I can help it.
Yeah.
You know, and I can do a 10 miler in the winter without water.
Right.
But I'd like to, I got this UltraSpire Synaptic 2.0.
Okay.
It's got those square bottles that kind of sit at an angle. I've never had a problem with those.
Right.
It doesn't really weigh on my hips too much, but I wanted to go even sleeker than that.
Okay.
So the Solomon S Lab belt, $55.
Okay.
And it fits a Solomon soft flask in the back. It's more of a pouch, the elastic pouch stuff, and you can hold a few more things, but it literally is just like a elastic waist belt with some pockets in it.
Right.
Because all I really do when I run is I carry my key and my phone. Right. And then my headlamp if I need to.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the reason I'd like to go that route is if I want to use like a water bottle, if I want to take just a little bit of water, just in case, but I don't want to carry my vest. And I don't know, I just don't like handhelds.
Yeah, it's okay.
I have handhelds, but when I carry them, I just always feel funky.
Yeah.
Switching hands,
Yeah.
you know, just having something in my hand I'm not a fan of. So again, super simple. I got the pack dialed. I'm trying these, and the new addition is this flask that I think a little bit bigger, fun looking. And the other thing I like about it too is my Solomon. I have the Solomons traditionally, and some I don't ever put anything but water in because sometimes it's hard to get the flavor out if you're using an electrolyte.
Okay.
And so with different colors of these, I can just say in that color is always water, and the other one's the only ones I put mix in.
Right.
Because I'm weird that way.
That's
I don't like to taste the fresh water when it's like kind of got some old lemon lime in there or something, you know, the smell or flavor. So that's it for my hydration side.
Wow.
Done.
Yeah, I agree. The Solomon Advanced Skin 5 is the workhorse. Something I've had for years. It works. You know, you can jam pack everything in there for 20 to 30 miler. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you throw the quiver on it, which is kind of nice, you have a place for your poles.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're always sold out of those.
Yeah, I got one. I really do like it. It's really helpful to have that quiver on there, and that's $30, and that should last you for years. I am kind of like you right now. I want to try to shift, move away from the vest if I can. I think it's just too hot. So if I'm running 10 miles, I think I can get away with the Speed Goat from UltraSpire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
2 bottles. Still can put some nutrition on there, carry my phone and my key.
Yep.
What's holding me back from getting it right now is the colorway.
What is it now?
Blue.
Yep.
And it's a really ugly blue.
It's like a lightish blue,
Yeah.
but not a sky blue. It's a different blue.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting until they come out with their
next color.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Which is going to be hot purple.
Probably. Then I'm going to be combing the internet looking for that blue.
It's like, where the hell's that blue? That's good looking.
Yeah. So that Speed Goat waist pack is $89. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Right. I want to say that comes with those square bottles.
It does. I have one.
Those
in
square
that
bottles
color.
are really easy to use.
They are.
Yeah.
And they go in and out of there and they stay really well. I have that color Speed Goat. So that's how I'm familiar with that one.
I would like to try the Raid Research 2-liter waist belt.
Okay.
It's the one that Anton Krapicka wore when he did the LA route, and he jam-packed that thing full of everything. And it looks like it holds things really well. My big fear of using waist belts from other companies is stuff's going to be bouncing around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like this secures down a little bit more.
Tell me the price on that sucker.
$149. They've sold out of every size but smalls right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw those and I was a little surprised with the price, just to be honest. From like most of them are 55, 60
I know, right?
Yeah.
So it leads me to believe that they've got more material in there than the other brands. Or maybe they're using more brand name material, like a Dyneema or something like that costs like an arm and a leg. On the same kind of vein, like design wise, a company called Instinct, their Reflex belt, it's only $45.
I like the sound of that.
It looks like it's similar to the Raid Research belt. I believe this one's out of France. So it's 45 euros on the website, but I believe it's still $45 once you buy it.
And that was the Instinct Reflex?
Yeah, the Instinct Reflex belt.
Check that out. Because like I said, I'm looking for a belt. So
that would be pretty good. If you're going to get handheld, I like the UltraSpire 550 Race. I've had one for years and years.
Yeah.
For me, it's fairly comfortable. I try not to use them too much anymore just because my hands are already beat up enough from work. I don't need to be holding more things.
Yeah.
So that's why I've kind of moved away from it. But if you wanted a handheld, that's the one. It's only $29 or $21. It's good stuff. So that's all I had for my belts and hydration vests until the end.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Little cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now is the tricky one.
Oh, man.
One that I play around a lot in, as you know.
Yes,
because
I
of
really had to
spreadsheets.
pare it down. I love those spreadsheets, by the way.
And we're going to nutrition.
Right.
So, man, I played around a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Joel, I just mentioned, I made a spreadsheet for hydration drinks
Right.
and gels,
Yes.
if you will. 2 different tabs because I'm a spreadsheet guy. And I broke it down.
Yeah.
Serving sizes and, how much potassiums, electrolytes, everything, just to get a good comparison side by side because, more, I don't know. It seems like when I first started, nobody cared about anything in a gel but calories.
Right.
It was always 200 calories 200 calories an hour, 200 calories an hour.
Right.
Didn't matter what else was in it.
Right.
Could be like rabbit turds. It could be whatever you wanted. Now it's carbs.
Yep. Carbs and sodium.
Yep. And so that changes the game, which I was slow to come to the game because I didn't really do the sciencey stuff. And I found this year I ran El Vaquero, the only race I ran, 50K, but I was more dialed nutrition wise than I can ever remember.
Right.
And a lot of that had to do with increasing my carbs and my electrolytes.
Right.
I was and I worked with a nutritionist
Right.
for the last 4 months and right before El Vaquero. And I realized how much deficit without ever taking a sweat test I must have had in the electrolyte world.
Yes.
Like bad. Like I was probably, dumb all the time, thinking I was solid.
You were a salty fella
all
the time.
But I switched and I've gone with Precision Hydration.
Okay.
They've got gels, they've got drinks, and they've got salt tablets.
Yeah.
I use them all. Their gels go down easy for me. They are packed with all the goodies.
They are.
Their drink mix, kind of the same thing. What I like about it is you can get tablets or powder, and they have like 500, 1,000, or 1,500. They have three levels.
Now, are those tablets fizzy?
I don't get tablets. You should know I don't get tablets. We had an experience once. The Grand Canyon. I don't play with tablets on any level.
Right.
Plop, plop, fizz, nothing.
Okay.
So I went with the powders, and they come in small, square, almost like emergency packets.
Okay.
So they're super easy to take with you. So I went with Precision Hydration. And the funny thing is I worked the Wasatch 100 aid station at like mile something, 50 plus, right?
Upper Big Water.
I was surprised how many people use Precision Hydration.
Yeah.
It's not a mainstream brand you hear a lot about.
Right.
But I would help people with their drop bags, and I kept looking over, and they're pretty easy to see. They're like black with like pink, yellow, and another orange maybe.
Like the racing stripes.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like people are using this.
Oh,
and you can go to their website and they have the coolest website.
They do.
You can like order just what you need for a race by plugging in information. This is the distance. I'm fast. It's going to be hot. I'm doing this. And it's like, hey, here's your optimal per hour. And here's your package you should order just for the race.
Right.
And I'm like, man, you're making it easy. So Precision Hydration, I'm not exclusive with her yet.
Okay.
But it's getting there, just courting pretty hard because I still do like the Skratch hydration mix.
Yeah.
I think it's real subtle.
It is.
I don't think it's sweet. And same with Precision Hydration, but I really still like the Skratch hydration mix and I like the Skratch recovery a lot. So that's kind of what I get from Skratch. And then and people can crucify me, I still like Spring. I still do. And they have an endurance meal now that they have a couple flavors, a blueberry one and like an oat one of some sort. That's like you do it before your race as your breakfast dish thing. Love them. They go down good, easy on the stomach. And the last one, I've never tried.
Okay.
But I've got it right next to me.
Oh.
Folks, we got Freak Shake. We've got Freak Shake, and I'm going to put it here. Freak Shake. This is, I don't know how new it is. It's a bonk buster endurance. 3 to 1 carb to protein refuels muscles. 100 milligrams of epicactin. 35 milligrams of caffeine, and 3 times the electrolytes for sports drinks. This is a recovery drink.
Oh my.
And I've done a little reading on it. Elevation Culture has used them at some of their races. So I'm like, and that's Eric's a cool dude.
Right.
So I got some. I just got it today. It's got the plastic on
you
it.
do.
I'm going to report on this, but it's Freak Shake. It's for recovery.
Right on.
I like the name of it.
Yeah, nice branding.
And the branding is cool.
Yeah.
So because recovery is so important.
It is.
Right. So we're going to give that one a go. But yeah, far as nutrition on the trail, if you're talking like sport nutrition, not hitting an aid station for pierogies and quesadillas and stuff, I'm definitely precision hydration, Skratch, and Spring. I'll still use those three, and they all suit me well. It's a good mix. There was a new one I tried this year. It was 50 grams of carbs per gel.
Okay.
And I think the gel was called Carb, C-A-R-B.
Oh, okay.
Or Carb Fuel, and it was just in a white pack, no hardly branding.
Right.
And it went down pretty easy. I used the Elvacaro.
Okay, right on.
So pretty simple.
I like the precision too. I moved to almost be exclusively on their gel.
Yeah.
I like the big 90-gram pack with the twist top. I don't like getting dirty when I'm running. It really bothers me. Like if I'm sticky, boy, that irritates me. So it's nice to have that little screw top and you can just, slurp on it and put the top on. You don't have to worry about putting your empty, goo gel wrappers in another bag. So that one's been fantastic. Plus you can buy a box of 10 and save money on those guys. I really like that. As far as like hydration goes, I like Gnarly Fuel 2.0.
Yeah.
I like the orange drink.
I used that for the last 4 years, I bet. And I've slowly moved away a little because of the sweetness of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I really like it. And then I'm like you, I like the Skratch Labs Everyday Hydration. That one's mostly got sodium in it, barely has any carbs. I like that just because of the lightness of it. You can get those in like a grab bag type of pack where you can test out other flavors. That's really nice. I like doing that. I've been drinking a lot of those just like on the daily. Like throughout the day, I'll pop one.
Yeah.
I like that. Science and Sport, Beta Fuel.
Oh, yeah. SIS.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really like their stuff. You get a 6-pack for $15, 40 grams of carbohydrates. You can get the flavorless one. That one's really nice.
Yeah.
It is a little tough to get the top off. That would be my only complaint right now. I like it if you want to mix things up. If you just are like, I'm tired of the precision, the Science and Sport's a little bit more viscous.
Okay.
Yeah. First Endurance.
Yeah.
The Daily Bundle. Multi-V Pro, Vitamin, the Halo, and then the Optogen HP.
And the Halo is like the joint fuel.
That
joint
stuff
rejuvenator
works for me. Yeah, I love that stuff. I can probably go without the Multi-V. The Optogen I like if we're training really hard. That you can make a difference.
That block.
You can feel it.
Can you tell the difference between the Optogen and the Optogen HP?
No. But my wallet can.
Yeah, mine can too.
Right. So if you just wanted to go Halo, but you still wanted a performance like vitamin, Bear Performance Nutrition, so BPN, they have a strong Multi-V, which is $29. That's for a month. It's a killer deal.
Which one is it?
BPN, Bear Performance Nutrition.
Bear?
Yeah, BARE.
Oh, like naked.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. So that one's one to look at for sure.
Okay, especially for the cost.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these sports vitamins, like if you go to the feed, you can make your own packets. I did that once.
Yeah.
By the time you're out the door, I'm like, are you kidding me?
The feed is dangerous.
It's super dangerous.
You go in there, you're like, I have to try that.
Yeah.
It totally looks like it belongs in my shelf, right? Pillar, triple magnesium.
Okay.
All right. So you take a scoop of it at night, sleep better. If you're taking creatine, you're going to need that magnesium for creatine to work. It's $49. That might be the downside.
Okay.
So it's a scoop every night. So it's $49 a month, right?
It's like over $1 a scoop.
Oh man, it's expensive to try to live healthy. The gnarly BCAAs.
Oh yeah.
I like those.
Yeah.
They're tasty.
I just ran out of mine.
Yeah. I like those. It's $42. I think that's where most of my money goes now is to sports nutrition.
Yeah.
Right. It's like all the other stuff, got that all figured out. It's like, oh, I can totally go to the feed and put that in my cart. You're checking out and they're like, do you want to try this? Yes, I do.
Yep. You get 5 free of these if you want to try them.
Exactly.
Throw it in my cart.
They're devious. That's it for nutrition.
Nice. I do the gnarly collagen.
Okay.
And I put the collagen and some MCT oil in my coffee every morning.
Right.
First cup every morning. Feels pretty good. And I do have their BCAAs, which I just finished off, and I do use their creatine too.
Right.
Which I have magnesium, which is funny. That's when I was working with my nutritionist. That's what she's like, do this. I was like, I didn't know this. I wish more people would tell you things. So that's our nutrition line.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that surprised me this year is when I was making that spreadsheet, and again, probably because of the feed, there's so many more brands out there. And it seems like they just keep popping up.
Right.
And I think that's the difficult part when you're trying to get your fueling down is before your options were so limited.
Right.
Like when we first started trail running, you had like, okay, do you want a hammer gel? Do you want a goo gel?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a pro gel from Power Bar? Or do you want something else? Right. And now I just found out that V Fuel got a buyer, so they're coming back next year.
Okay, right on.
But yeah, there's just so many out there, and I think that is one of the hardest things to dial in, right? You know, I think what the feed needs to do is design your own gels instead of vitamin packets, because you know what? I want this many carbs, this much sodium, this much potassium, this many electrolytes, and this many calories.
The guy from Salt Lake that does Formula 369, he walks you through how to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
So you can make your own?
Yeah, you can make your own. I mean, obviously, you're probably going to use his product, but then you can throw a bunch more stuff in there and then condense it down to a gel. Yeah,
because what I found, what I'm trying to do, because you know how much per hour is like almost trying to find two gels that'll play together. So one I can get, you know, whether it's my carbs and whatever else, and the other one maybe has my sodium and calories, and then I could take one the first half, one the second half, something like that. But I don't know. I think that after El Vaquero, I think more and more that nutrition side really opened my eyes.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, you know, you do decent at best at training. You could use the edge of trying to feel close to proper.
I think that's important.
You know, it's like neither one are dialed in. So
under fueled for years and years. That's for sure.
Yep. All right. So again, that's our fueling. Miscellaneous category.
Right.
The drop bag, as you will.
Oh, yeah.
Race entries, cameras, anything that we haven't mentioned that kind of falls into this list. Again, mine's not super sexy, not a bunch of new stuff, but I'm curious because of the podcast. I do have, because my watch is in here, because right now we're in the Suunto Vertical watch, which is my favorite.
Okay.
But I have my Suunto Spartan Sport.
Okay.
My blue one. And I'm going to show that here if you don't know what that is, and then the YouTube does turn out. If you're just listening, then you're kind of out of luck on some of these, but I'm going to give this away. It's in really good shape. Like, I didn't wear it a ton. It is blue, but it's the Suunto Spartan Sport. Works fine. Have the charging cable. I'm going to give it away on this podcast.
Right on.
So all you have to do on this one is just, I don't know, say, Eric, I want that watch.
There you go.
And we'll put you in the drawing for the watch. I just want to give it away. It's in great shape. It just sits there, and I feel kind of bad.
Decluttering, I like it.
It is. And I'm like, I'm not throwing this type of stuff out. I'm not throwing this stuff this is pretty specialized. Maybe there's someone out there that wants to try one for the first time. It's, you know, not the newest version, but it works. So anyway, on my miscellaneous, that's the first thing I have, is my Suunto Vertical. My wife got the solar version, which is a little bit more, but it charges as you run.
Right.
I didn't go that route. She has more money than I do. So I just got the Suunto Vertical, and it works just great. I love it. I did use the Koros last few years.
Right.
And I don't know if it's what it was, but I just came back to the Suunto.
Okay.
I don't know why. I felt like I understood it better because maybe I'd been using it for so long, just the ease of using it. And I know the Koros is a great watch. I haven't done the Garmin, Phoenix, whatever that ones are.
Right.
Which I'm sure is fantastic. I'm a creature of habit and simplicity when you get to tech.
Right.
If you make tech easy, chances are I'm buying it. If you make it hard, you don't even dare. So that's in my miscellaneous, even though it's a watch. And then I'll do lighting and then switch over to whatever, give you a few. But for lighting, the Petsy Bindi headlamp is still my favorite. It's still only 200 lumens, but it fits in your pocket. It's the perfect headlamp for just in cases and like maybe an hour of dusk or dawn. It's literally the perfect. It's like a bungee cord. And then I also have the Petzl Ico Core, 500 lumens. It's $105.
Right.
And I also have a black diamond that I didn't put on here. And then I just bought the Ultraspire Lumen 800 Solstice belt.
Oh, nice.
Joel and I were fortunate enough years and years ago when Ultraspire came out with their Lumen belts, they sent us a sample before they hit the market, and we enjoyed it.
Oh, they're the best.
And so I bought another one.
Right
You know,
on.
I need to do a lot more training this year, especially in the dark hours, just because of work and other things. So I'm like, I'm going to get a belt. My wife bought the Kagala for I'm Tough, and she loves that one. I went the Lumen 800 Solstice from Ultraspire.
Right
so that's my lighting series on my miscellaneous plus my watch. I have a few more, but I'm going to turn it over to you for a few.
All right. For the headlamp, the Black Diamond Astro rechargeable has 300 lumens. I've used it for the last 2 years. It is a great headlamp.
Okay.
Simple, easy to use, fairly lightweight. Does the job. Just enough light that you almost don't need a waist belt. But now that we are getting a little older, it's important to have waist belt, I think. So I was on the same page as you. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Ultraspire. I'm gonna get myself a waist belt. They're out. Back order.
Wow,
folks, my money was there.
You didn't take my money. I spent it on nutrition now.
But I spent it on a Kagala.
Oh, you did get
Yes,
one? Okay.
Kagala. And here's the thing about those. They're dumb bright.
Yeah.
Stupid bright.
Oh, yeah.
You got to futz with them, though, to get the setup. So here's my setup.
Oh, he brought it. While he's getting his setup, that's one of the things I know. There's so many ways to do it. I'm nervous that I need something too simple. So here's Joel's setup. If the YouTube video turns out, we're not promising you could probably see it. If you're just listening to the podcast, I'll try and explain it the best I can.
All right. So I've got the single pack.
Okay.
Right? And you can either put it on your vest, right? Or you can get a belt. So I got a Ultraspire Element belt.
Okay.
It has a little pocket in the back where you can slide your phone. It has a zipper on the back as well. So I'll show that on the camera.
Yep.
I have been putting it in just the little stuff pack pocket.
Yeah, okay.
Kangaroo pocket with my battery.
Okay.
So I wrap it around the front.
Okay.
And then I just took the Velcro and Velcroed it to the strap on the front.
Okay. Because it comes with a magnet too, right?
It comes with a magnet. So I'm still experimenting with the magnet.
Okay.
So I've got one of those little like slip-on belts from the feed.
Yep. They got
Again,
you.
to check out.
You didn't want one.
I didn't want one.
You didn't go there for one.
Thank God it was free. And I can use the magnet with that one.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I got to play with it a little bit more.
Got to futz with it.
I do. Oh man. That's the one thing. Come on, for $180, I would want them to do a better job of like making this easier to integrate.
See, that's the reason I didn't go with it,
Right.
to be honest with you. And it's not like, I know some people are like, oh, it's super easy, just do this. But I know for me, if I'm in a 100-miler or when I'm not thinking straight, I'd probably struggle with it.
Right.
Because I struggle with my name, right? Like if I'm doing a morning run, sometimes I might be able to figure it out early enough if I'm used to it. But that was the one thing I just know, like the Ultraspire, I can just clip it and I'm on.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to go for, but they were out.
Okay.
So this is all this belt, this Ultraspire belt. That's all it's going to do.
It's hailed your Kogala belt.
It's a Kogala belt.
Okay.
So,
but they are stupid bright.
They are dumb bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel sorry for anybody that comes across me in the mornings.
So do they.
Yeah.
They're like, damn it, what's going on me?
Yeah.
But you're safe.
I'll try to turn it off.
You're safe though.
Yeah. Watches, the Coros Apex Pro.
Okay.
It's a no-brainer. It's so easy to use, I think. I like the interface on their app. It kicks over the Strava real quick. I like it. I think it's a good deal. Swift Wick socks.
I just bought some of those 3/4.
Used them all summer.
Okay.
Love them.
That's good to know.
You can get a 3-pack for $69. I haven't worn out a pair this summer either.
I was wondering
really
about
surprised
because I bought some 3/4 and I was curious their durability.
Very durable. Got a little bit of merino wool in there, so it's a little bit not warm, but just the right amount of warmth.
Okay.
And then they have some support in the sock, which at first I was a little concerned about. I was like, oh, is this going to scrunch my toes? But it hasn't yet.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's good. The other thing in the miscellaneous, my Nova Red Light Therapy sleeve for my knees. I got me some old knees right now, folks.
Okay.
Yeah. So I get done with my run, go home, get the coffee, plop on the couch, wrap that sucker around my leg, and turn it on. It is warm goodness.
So give me the name of that because I'm curious.
It's Nova, Novaa Labs. They're, I think, out of Salt Lake.
Nova?
Novaa.
Double A.
Double A. Nova Labs, red light therapy. I just got the sleeve. You can put the sleeve on your knee, your quad, your calf, wherever. And
Give me a price point.
$299.
Oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'll just buy some more Speedlands.
You know, you can get it on sale, I'm sure, in a couple weeks.
Feed. I'll do a look on the feed.
Oh, yeah, right. They'll get you the checkout on that one. So that's kind of like my recovery thing that I'm using every day.
Okay.
Does it make a difference? I don't know. It feels good when I'm wearing it, folks.
Okay. That's important.
It is.
Because on those lines, I have the air sleeves for my legs.
Yep.
And my wife uses mine more than I do.
Yeah.
And she loves them.
Those work.
But she runs way more than me.
She does.
Yeah. But I remember when I first got them, she was kind of skeptical because she's like, how much are those? Why'd you get those?
Right.
And then she's like, I'm like, try them. And now she's like, hey, can I try your? And I'm like, absolutely. They're just as much yours as they are mine.
Right.
So yeah, that's good because since we're talking recovery, I have a few recovery things on here or that. Mine is, I really want one to come close by. And I heard there's supposed to be one coming to the Ogdenary in 2025 because I know there's popping up is like a cold plunge sauna membership.
Oh, yeah. There's one down in Farmington right now.
Yep. They just barely opened. They sent me a message.
Right.
And they, we chatted a little bit, but I'm like, I just don't want to drive to Farmington for it. Right. I mean, for Farmington from where we're at, if you're not familiar, it's like 30 minutes. Could be depending on traffic. Right. Could be more, to be honest with you. But I heard they're opening one in the Ogden area in 2025, but a cold plunge sauna membership for me, I know I would use. I love to cold plunge. Sauna's not my favorite thing, but again, we're talking recovery.
Right.
So I would like that. And then I'm giving you a plug, but a gift card to Hatch Sports Therapy.
Oh, I didn't know I had to get those ready.
Yeah, you better be better. I just think recovery is overlooked still, even with all the recovery devices out there, because you can have the devices, but if you don't know how to use them or when to use them, they don't help and they could hurt you. Right. And I don't think you can go wrong. I've been going to Joel since he opened his practice, and it honestly helps. So I think that's a great thing to give somebody or yourself is like a gift card, or just book an appointment there since we're talking recovery.
Right. Just any sports massage therapist that is in your area, please go visit them.
Yeah.
They're going to help you out.
Make a huge difference. I mean, my wife doesn't believe in that stuff almost until she came to you. And then she's like, I went to her doctor. I think I need to go back to Joel, because she helped her hip once that she had problems with forever.
It was
right.
It was her calf.
Yeah. Her calf. She's had multiple
she tore
things.
Her calf.
Oh, that's
we got her in every week. And I really think that made a big difference.
I don't know if, and I think she would say this, and she wouldn't have been able to do I'm Tough if she wouldn't hit you when she did and how she did it, because she was still questioning herself.
She was a good sport, letting me work on her every week. Just to, that was kind of like I think the eye-opening moment for her was like, oh, if I come in 30 minutes every week and get this injury worked on, it's going to allow me to then, accelerate my recovery and then go do this event that I've been training for all year.
Yeah, because it worked.
Yeah.
Couple miscellaneous before we turn it back over to you. Catula micro spikes.
Oh yeah, always.
And guess what, folks? I got 2 pair to give away on the show. So 2 pair, whatever size you need. You just got to tag us in any of your posts that you want some Catulas. We'll put you in the drawing. I got 2 pair. You don't have to be local. I can mail them to you.
Right on.
Either way, but Catula micro spikes, especially in our area, it gets super packed down more than ever now. So instead of just having that crunchy snow, you get it a lot slicker.
It does get ice fast.
Yeah, especially if you're doing Malin stuff, which our Malins is getting hammered now every winter. Didn't used to have that problem. Catula micro spikes. So we've got some of those to give away. And Joel talks socks, so I'm going to go socks.
Okay.
I love the Paka socks, Paka, and I've talked about them on the show before. However, I've switched over more from like your ankle sock, because I do find like when I wear Speedlands, I'd rather have a 3/4 sock. They just seem like they're better, and they make a 3/4 sock. I love those things. They're so good. They're made of alpaca and other materials,
like wool blend.
Yep. And they're so good all year round. I can wear them like hottest part of July. I do notice when I get my feet wet, my feet never feel wet, which is really cool. So Paka, I brought them on the podcast or talked about them before on the show, and I still wear them, but I did some Swift.
You're trying them.
Yep. And the other one I still wear, and we have some to give away, is some feature socks.
Nice.
And I wear features. So if you want some feature socks,
Right. Those are good for wearing around.
Just say you want feature socks. And with our contest for all these prizes, it's on the men's podcast, and next week we do the women's one.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a combined thing. So we're going to run the thing. I'll draw winners before Thanksgiving,
right,
the 23rd. So anyway, if you want those, but we have some of those to give away, some feature socks. Guys still wear those. And then last one before I turn it over, because I do have a few more. Super simple. Always wear it. Always have it. Squirrels nut butter. Boom. That's all I need to say.
You can get the little small deer stick of it and put it in your vest or your waist belt.
Everywhere. So that's my favorite. So I got a few more, but I'm going to go back to you for some miscellaneous.
What about some trekking poles, some leaky?
Yes.
Or black diamond?
Yep.
Either one are going to be great. Price points vary drastically, whether you get the high-end carbon or if you just get the aluminum, but you can't go wrong with either one. And it really does make a big difference when you're doing a lot of uphill. You'll go faster and without the effort.
Yeah. I do like on the leaky or whatever you say it is the gloves that clip in and out. I do like that. I don't have them, but I see people always with them using it. It just seems easy.
It does, right?
But again, I don't have them.
I don't either. I haven't invested in that, but
I have the black diamond Z poles from
ever ago.
1840. So, and I don't use them. I should learn how to do that.
I'm a little nervous. Those black diamond Z poles, how they used to come apart. There was this strange little thread of rubber, and I'm afraid that's going to break.
Stretch Armstrong is what it is made out of, I think. That's what mine are. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind the leaky or leaky just for that. I like that glove option, the shark clip and all that other stuff.
Yeah, you're not futzing around with it.
Yeah. What else you got?
That was it.
Man, I interrupted you.
Done.
I only have a couple more.
All right, what you got?
And they're kind of out there ones, but that's the world we live in. The new GoPro Hero. Okay. It's tiny. Okay. It's like, as I mentioned earlier in the show, when you can dumb down tech, I like it. So I have a GoPro, but it's like the normal one that had 12 that has all the stuff. This new one this one that's 190 is tiny and it just records video.
Nice.
It'll take pictures, but it's like simple. And I've used it once and it turned out amazing. So that and you make tech easy. I'm going to go for it.
What you got?
I got something I didn't know I would do. And because I think I saw it on the gram, it is a drone.
Oh, nice.
But it's a DJI.
It's like a baby drone.
Neo drone.
Gosh, that's so small.
And I think you can have a remote with it, but they have a button on the front. And you just push the button, it takes off out of your hand and does the button thing. So it's got a follow me mode.
Oh, nice.
You put it in your palm, you hit follow me, it takes off, you just go run and it'll follow you. And then when you're done, you stop, you hold your hand out and it lands in your hand. You don't need a controller, you don't need gadgets. And it has like 4 or 5 options. So it'll take off straight up in the air, take a video, come back down, do a 360.
The distance that's going to follow you at?
How far apart?
Yeah, like how far off the ground and how far behind you or how far in front of you?
I don't know. That's a good question. Okay. I've only had it a week.
All right.
I only used it walking my puppy, and it was cool as hell because I'm like, oh, if I can push a button and it does everything I need it to do. So again, you made tech dumb. It's $199, but you could fit it in your vest if you wanted to get some just cool shots somewhere of yourself running. Instead of just putting your camera on the ground and running over top of it and running back and picking up your camera and doing different things, you can take a drone and have it fly behind you, right? And take action photos. No. So I got one.
Right on.
And I'm going to use it.
Yeah, you should.
And I'm going to use it with my new puppy. So I got a puppy, folks. That's my Christmas gift to myself. I got a Vizsla.
Right.
He's about almost 13 weeks old. He's not ready for public yet because he hasn't had his shot. So December 3rd is his day to hit the mountains. His name is Timber. He's got his own Instagram account, and he's my new running buddy.
He's a good-looking dog.
He is a gorgeous little monster for sure. And then again, that was my little drone. My last one on the miscellaneous list, and this is I signed up and did a program through Mountain Tough.
Oh yeah.
Online, it's Mountain Tough. They do all kinds of different workouts. You can do body weight workouts, intro workouts, and they have an on-ramp workouts, and it's more for like hunting and stuff is I think where they started.
Right.
But they have like yoga stuff, stretching. It's like $30 a month. I don't go to gyms.
Right.
And so this was nice for me. And they have a program. But I went and did a few different classes, if you will. So good. Like so good. I was shocked at how easy it was, how it's fun to have them kind of motivate you while you're doing it.
Right.
And they know their stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Which is really quality. They're out of Montana, but you can get like a month for free.
Right.
And then if you want to continue, it's $29. I did. So for 2 months, I paid $30. So
that's good.
Mountain Tough workouts. Back to the question earlier in the show, it's going to be my off-season training.
There you go. Right on.
Just for a little strength training. But it's like Joel mentioned too, is like you don't have to do weights. They have minimal weights. They have full gym workouts. They have very specific stuff. I mean, it's crazy, all the stuff that you have access to, videos to do. So I think that's all my miscellaneous stuff that I have. I do have more stuff.
Okay.
They're kind of miscellaneous, and I kind of cheated because we travel a lot when you run.
Right.
Adventure runs, races. I got a little kit now that I have. It's a rinse kit cube 4 gallon. It's like a little shower.
Okay.
It's a little 4 gallon square. I bought it this year. We take it camping in our adventure runs to spray the dogs off or shower ourselves.
Right.
Freaking awesome. It's got a little pump in it. It's rechargeable. I have a Goal Zero power station, the Yeti 500.
Right.
Just picked up a Starlink, which is the internet anywhere you go.
Wow.
And it's month to month.
That
right?
thing works really well.
It does.
Yeah.
And a Garmin InReach Messenger for $300 for safety if you're hitting the Grand Canyons, things like that. Because, you know, as trail and ultra runners, it's not all about racing, training. Sometimes you do adventure runs, and sometimes you're getting in weird places, and sometimes, you know, you got to work. So again, having a Starlink, a little Goal Zero, a little shower,
right on.
You know, I think it's, I don't know. Those are all on my thing. So rinse kit cubes, like $2.99. They have different sizes. Starlinks, $350 is all for one. Now they got the brand new tiny one for like $600.
Yeah.
I got the one for $349 because it's not that much bigger.
Right.
And then the Garmin InReach Messenger. I think, you know, for me, we do a lot of adventure running, like runcations.
Right.
And so all that comes in handy, especially if one of us has to work and we don't have service.
Right.
Starlink, you only pay by month. You cancel anytime. So those are some things to look at if you do a lot of traveling.
I like that.
And running. So,
right on.
All right, I'm going to let you start the next category, casual afterwear. When you're done with a run, what do? You can't just get back in your car in your gnarlies and get your seats nasty and go to get coffee with a buddy. And
I'm really bad at that.
I am too.
Yeah.
But
I get my nasties on my seat. Sorry, folks. I do. I actually have a towel that's in the back of the car. It's supposed to be for that. I just never do it. Sorry.
Well, I just got
an orange mud towel.
Yep. And I just got something very similar because folks, on me and Joel had a Christmas gift guide, and one of them was a truck, and I bought a truck.
Yes, you did.
So I bought a new Tundra, and I baby it because it's new, and I'm paying money for it.
Yep.
Because I didn't have a car payment. So now this afterwear stuff is legit.
Yeah, it's
like
important.
Legit. So what do you have on your little?
I don't have anything.
Run? Really?
Yeah, I'm really bad about that.
So me,
sorry.
I've got the Path Montara hoodie on right now.
Yeah, that's good looking.
It's super light. It's a little stretchy, and they have joggers. I mentioned earlier, I love joggers. So Path came out with matching joggers. So I wear those, put them on, or the Sunday Performance jogger from Viore at $98.
That one, I don't like that one. Sorry.
You don't? Viore ones?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I love those.
It's because my foot gets caught in it.
Really?
Yeah, when I put it on, it's like I can't get my foot through it.
Huh.
That's the sole reason why. I know it's petty and small.
Oh, it's not a petty thing.
Once I got the rabbit joggers, like Viore.
Wow.
Almost going to the Goodwill.
No, see, I love mine. The Montaras I love as well. And then I do have the North Face thermal ball traction mule shoes, little puffy shoes.
I love
little
those.
Puffy slip-ons.
I wear those every day.
See, and I don't because but after running in the winter and I don't want, or bad weather, I don't get my muddy shoes in my nice truck. Right. So I'll put these little puffies on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's what I wear afterwear. And then TrailManners swag.
There you go.
We have a ton. So yeah, I love to be able to put something like especially in the winter, I like to take my shirt, my jacket off because I still sweat and put something cozy on. Yeah. And I love this Montara hoodie from Path.
That's a good looking hoodie.
They're super comfortable and light, and the joggers are the same.
Right.
Like they feel so good on, which I appreciate in apparel. I love soft stuff. Right. Like soft like my belly. All right. So what else you got? Anything else?
Final category is what do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want for next year?
Okay. Right? You start this one. This will be fun.
Mostly shoes.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want shoes. I want to try a pair of Nordas.
Oh, yeah.
I want to try the 005s.
I didn't know
they're going to come out next year.
Okay. So ones and the twos they've had. We had Michael Whitesides on, and he wears Nordas.
Yeah.
And he loves them.
They weigh 7.4 ounces.
Oh, wow. Nothing.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So once those come out next year, depending on the price point, if they're below $300, I'll consider getting them.
So the 005s,
Yeah.
what is different? Do you know yet?
I think the upper is like full Dyneema, and then they have this super critical foam, and that's all it is. It's just one foam. It's not a blend of foams.
Okay.
And then their outsoles, some special thing that was developed just for them.
Okay.
You know, so all that stuff equals expensive.
$350?
Probably
Because right now they go for a couple hundred, right?
almost 300.
Yeah, so that's got to be up there then.
I imagine so. But I mean, they claim that you're going to get 1,000 miles out of your shoes.
Well, and we
Yeah.
had Michael Whitesides on, and he told me he did. He hammers them. So
I mean, if you get that much, then it's worth it.
yeah.
La Sportiva.
Okay.
I haven't tried La Sportiva in
A while.
15 years.
Yeah.
Prodigio Pro.
What is that?
It is a bigger stack shoe than their normal Prodigio.
Okay.
It's going to have a outsole similar to the Tecton X.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it only weighs 7.9 ounces.
Is that one out now?
No, next year.
Next year?
Yeah, this is all next year type of stuff
Okay.
that I'm looking at. A Salomon S Lab Ultra Glide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good looking shoe.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty fat stack on it, 41.35.
Wow.
So that'll be like your recovery cruiser type of shoe.
Yeah.
I'd like to try a pair of the Adidas Gravity Speed Ultras.
Yeah.
I'd like to try those next year when the version 3 comes out.
It seems like they've made leaps and bounds in their trail shoe.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because I remember like 2 years ago, their trail shoes just looked big and bulky and heavy.
Yeah, they put a ton of money into it. So when the version 3 comes out, I want to give that a try. Not sure when that's going to happen, but at some point next year, I'm sure it's going to happen probably before Western states with Roach running and him wearing their shoes. So,
hey man, cash in while you can.
Heck,
he's
yeah.
killing it.
Yeah, it's all about the Roach show right now. I'll tell you what. And then my big ticket item that I want to try is from Satisfy. I want to try a pair of the Rippy Dyneema trail shorts.
Satisfy.
Yeah, Satisfy Run Company.
Okay. I think I've seen, don't they have a logo, or not a logo, but a saying they put on their stuff, isn't there?
Possibly.
I was looking at some of their shirts.
100% sure, like the whole Satisfy like
story.
Ecosystem, like what's going on there.
Yeah.
But I'm fascinated by it right now.
Okay.
It's like super high-end stuff that's like ridiculously expensive. Like these shorts are $420. I'm not kidding.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious. That's their price point is like double or triple.
Stop,
I know, right?
Stop. It's not even double or triple. I don't know of a short more than $100 right now.
I know, right?
$420
for these bad boys. And the Dyneema material it's strong as all get out. It's never going to rip, and it's super light. You're paying for that brand name, that Dyneema, right? And it has a liner, right? I'm sure that liner is no big deal, but yeah.
The liner better be like some angels cupping your goods,
know,
soft. Right? $420 for
I know,
shorts.
right?
I might have to pick up some other sport here soon.
Yeah.
Or hurry and buy a whole hell of a lot of something. $420 for shorts?
Once you get on their website, you're going to be blown away by just the outrageous.
Where are they from?
Prices. I want to say they're out of France.
Wow.
And they have kind of like stories that go along with the brand as well. They're doing pretty interesting things.
Huh. Okay. I'm excited for you to get a pair.
Yeah.
Just don't tell me you like them.
No, I even if I do like them, I won't. Yeah.
Man, I'm shocked right now.
Right.
Okay. Hey, that's where we're going, I guess.
I think so. These brands are using Dyneema, and they're using, what's the outsole that everybody's using right now?
Dyneema is
it's a material.
Like
it's
soft,
a lightweight,
bomb-proof
softish material, definitely bomb-proof.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So buy some, like buy stock in Dyneema, apparently.
Oh, for sure, right? That's where everybody's using.
That's on my list,
right? Well, that Raid Research,
yeah,
I think that's what they use, and I think that's why some of their stuff is so expensive.
Okay, man. Okay, mine seems pretty small compared to that.
That's all I got for what I want.
I just want two things.
What's that?
A pair of puffy pants.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
That seems odd. You don't like to be warm.
I think after a cold winter run, throwing on some puffy 3/4 pants or something just to keep your leg, because sometimes my quads get cold, after a cold run. Patagonia used to make some. I didn't buy any because I'm like, who'd want some? And now I'm like,
Right.
I wouldn't mind some puffy pants.
There you go.
But they don't make them anymore.
No.
And now every puffy pant I see are more like Nordic ski pants.
Yeah.
And so they're snug, and I don't want a snug puffy.
Mm-hmm.
I want like,
you need the full length puffy that goes all the way to your ankles.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
like a snuggie
Yeah.
type thing. But yeah, I'd like some puffy pants. And we always go big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you went big with shorts.
Yeah.
Years ago, we went big.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you know what I really want?
What's that?
I want a dirt box or Lone Peak overland camper top.
Okay.
So I did research because I bought a truck,
Right.
Toyota Tundra, and I want a overland camper top that has the camper, the shell,
right,
where the top is the tent. I don't want a shell and then put a tent on top.
No.
I want an all-in-one because then you can stand up in it and do some things. I've done a lot of research. Go Fast, Lone Peak. There's a place here, Harker in Salt Lake, but I've limited it to Dirt Box. They're out of Colorado, and Lone Peak. They just finished year 1, and they're out of like Wenatchee, Washington.
Okay.
I would love one of those just because I think even as I'm aging, I still think it's fun to go and just stay like in camp style.
Right.
But these are more plush, right?
Yeah,
Camping. It's not a tent. Right. I mean, I have a little trailer, but sometimes I'd sell my trailer for an overlander camp top.
I think that's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
What's that going to set you back?
Depends on how built out you go.
Well, build it out like you want to. What's that going to?
So that's the beauty of the two that I've narrowed it down to. We're probably looking at 10 grand.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah. I mean, my trailer, small trailers are more than that.
Oh, yeah.
But you can get some, if you get all the bells and whistles, you can get up more. And I've seen, there's like different brands that are 20 plus.
Yeah.
But these ones I've looked at have good stories, like the one down in Salt Lake, there's a Harker one here local, and they're probably in the same price point. They start at like $6 grand.
Right.
Bare bones. And then you can add all kinds of stuff. And some brands you can add more than others. I'm pretty basic, sound like technology.
Right.
So long as I have a place to sleep, I can stuff everything else in there.
Heck yeah.
And stay there before a race, not a tent, right? Adventure run with all my other stuff. But that's really all I really want next year, because I'd got a dog in a truck already.
I know, right?
Went big.
Yeah, you did.
So puffy pants and an overland camper top. That's it.
Hey,
so
not asking for much.
No. And so Dirt Boxer, Lone Peak, if you're listening, hook me up. 50% off code. I'll do a review. You know how it goes. Or if you just want to give me one, that happens. I'm not an influencer, but that would be cool. So that's all I got for the show. How about you?
That's it.
So we got, this might be a 2-part for you to listen to. There's a lot of stuff. We always cover a lot, but we're always listening to hear what you think, because there's so much out there. We don't see it all. Sometimes new brands that we would love to talk to.
What are we missing?
What are we missing? Let us know in any comment. We'll talk about them. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of prizes. We've got a Sunto Sport and Watch for free. Again, that was mine and it's used. I'm going to be transparent, but it's free if you just need a little good. It's actually a good one. We got some Catula micro spikes, feature socks. I do have some Skratch Labs single serves if people want to try those out. I got a ton of TrailManners gear to give away just for participating in these contests. We also have some Death March Running Company sticker pack. I have a bag of EFS Pro high carb drink mix for anybody. That stuff ain't cheap.
No, it's not.
I've got some Now Go Get It hats. If you're watching on the thing, we got some Now Go Get It hats we're giving away. And we also have some really cool Now Go Get It t-shirts that we're going to be giving away as well.
That's good looking.
So we've got all kinds of fun stuff from TrailManners. We're just giving it away. All you got to do is participate. To win stuff, you just got to say what you want, right? Make it easy. I don't have to decide. So the microspikes, features, whatever, or the TrailManners gear, we'll hook you up. We'll get you in the drawing. And then lastly, in the show notes, we will have discount codes for Path Project, Squirrels, Nut Butter, and Death March Running Company. These contests will both go for the men's and women's episode. This one launches on November the 19th. The women's show launches on 11/26, and we'll do a drawing. Is that right? Am I being right here? I think so. We'll do a drawing in I don't know, in November, I think. What do I have in my notes? Man, am I backwards? No, I am. So we'll announce it around Thanksgiving time. But we want both men and the women to have a participation in all the awards. We got a great show next week for the women's stuff, women's specific. I'm not involved. I'm just a narrator. We got 2 great guests coming on to talk about all the women's gear they like and see what they want. But yeah, great show. Always one of my favorite shows of the year. It's going to be a two-parter for some of you. We go a little longer on this one because there's so much gear, but it's always nice. Joel, thanks for coming back on.
Hey, thanks for having me back on.
I would love to have you on more. It's always fun to have you. It's a lot of good times. We trying this YouTube thing. This could be a video podcast. You'll know sooner. You'll know before I do. Most people will. But yeah, thanks for listening to the show again. Don't forget about our contests. Keep listening. Engage with everybody. And don't forget to comment on what you want. This is Eric Manning, TrailManners Podcast, episode number 337. And we are out. Thank you for listening to the TrailManners Podcast. Our Christmas gift guide was so fun once again. And stay tuned for next week for the women's version. I want to thank co-founder of the podcast and good friend Joel Hatch for joining us again today. And I also want to encourage everyone to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at TrailManners, or swing by the website at trailmanners.com. You can click on the donate button. You can buy some cool TrailManners swag or some gifts for the holidays, and both donations and purchases sure do help the show. And you can always hit us up on the contact page or email me at trailmanners@gmail.com and let me know what you'd like to see, who you want to hear, or even if you would like to be on the show. And don't forget to share us with your friends. If you can take just a minute to subscribe to the show and leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Facebook, I'd greatly appreciate that. And remember, all the contests we have going on this week, and there's links in the show notes for all that information. Had so much fun. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, this is Eric Manning, still reminding you, you don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. Now go get it.